Lots of scrap monsters have been put in the game lately, with Pong Ping, who was originally supposed to be Shelby, and Whiz Bang, who was based on a globe concept. Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 scrap monsters that could make a return inside of My Singing Monsters. And number 5 to kickstart our list today, we have Beta Reedling. This monster only has a little portrait that we can see its concept design on. Just like to Pong Ping, there's not much that we know regarding this monster's design, unlike all of the rest of the ones on our list today. But what makes it number 5 is certainly the potential that it could bring. Considering Pong Ping was only a little placeholder image just like this with just letters on it, it does look like this one could make a return very similar in the vein to what Pong Ping did inside of the game. I'm sure they might have some more concept art potentially too for this one, and even if not, just reworking it inside of the game just like they did for Pong Ping would be an epic thing for them to do. I could also see this monster being reworked into the Reedling family. We have a ton of families inside of the game, and seeing as though this was a beta monster for Reedling, it would be really cool to see them expand on the family concept with Reedling. Perhaps the family could be called the Reedleys. Honestly, the sky is the limit for this one, and I feel like that's why it's very exciting, and it just would be really cool to see it make its return. Then at number 4, we have Owlesk and Flying Cone, with Owlesk being to the right side. Now, Owlesk is iconic. Out of the two monsters here, you've got to look at Owlesk and go, that's the one that you think of when you think of concept art from My Singing Monsters, and therefore I feel like it would be just a very groundbreaking thing to include Owlesk inside of the original game. Yes, Flying Cone's design is really cool too, and honestly I'm not sure why these Tweedle concepts are looking so snazzy in comparison to the rest of the concepts that we know about. No offense to the concepts. I do think that these two have a lot of potential if they were reworked inside of the game. Seeing as though this was original concept art for Tweedle, I feel like bringing that back for the air theme quint would be a really interesting idea. Now, what I mean by the air theme quint is, if we have a look at our quints that we have in game, we have Candelabra, who's based on the fire element, and then we have Dromedary based on the earth element, and all of the fire quints take inspiration from one specific element. So for the air one, I could see this being a really good fit. So hopefully they manage to do something snazzy with these two, I say. And then for number 3, we have Deuce, one of the fan favorites, but definitely not the most popular, as we're about to get into. This is a scrap concept for what Bicinerus would have looked like. Actually, inside of this design, only the horns remain the same. And what's particularly interesting about this, though, is that this design was pretty much finalized, and that's why it's very surprising why this doesn't look more similar to Bicinerus. It was originally on the loading screen, so you can see that this was very far ahead. It was shown on this update loading screen if we have a look on screen right now, and therefore it's just really surprising that this monster didn't make it in game when it was so finalized. In comparison to every single scrap monster that we know about, this was the one that was the most complete. And I've got to say, it is probably my favorite. Maybe that's because of it being the most finalized out of them all, but honestly, I'd really love Deuce. You gotta show Deuce some love. And whilst I do really love its design, I do think it's the most least likely out of every single concept on this list. Seeing as though it was scrapped, it gets you thinking why on earth it was scrapped so late on in the development process in the first place, and why it was replaced with Bicinerus. You can see from the concept art quite clearly that this was quite far along, so it's confusing why this was scrapped in the first place. Maybe we'll learn one day, but honestly, who knows? But the reason for it being scrapped must have certainly been a good one. And I also do think that it could only return really as a fire element also. Therefore, seeing as though it only has the fire elemental feel, there's not a lot of room for this monster to unfortunately come back. But hopefully we can see it rework inside of the game one day somehow. Then at number 2, we have Mimic. Mimic, as everyone does know, as this is the community favorite right here, is the scrapped Quint Elemental that was originally supposed to be in the original games. They were supposed to be a monster that you could record your own sounds for, and then it would play it back to you. Much alike to the recording studio that it was eventually replaced with, that's the kind of concept that they were trying to elaborate on inside of the game. What you guys probably don't know, though, about Mimic is that it has been confirmed to return as the Plant, Cold, Air, Water, and Earth Quint, just like to how it was originally planned planning, it is pretty much confirmed to be coming to Dawn of Fire. Let's take a listen to Monster Handler Matt for some more details there.
Of course, the all-natural Quint element monster has not yet been discovered, but based on the popularity of Mimic, how could it not be the Mimic?
So as you guys heard there, Mimic is pretty much confirmed to be coming to Dawn of Fire, which is really exciting, as I think this could turn out really cool. I've seen so much fan art for Mimic. This has the most potential out of all of the designs that we're going to discuss about today, which is really exciting, and considering how it's probably going to remain exclusive to Dawn of Fire, though, it's probably quite likely to be the last of all of the monsters that are left for Dawn of Fire, which is very unfortunate, but hopefully we do see it make a return one day, which has been confirmed to be in the works sometime in the future. Just thinking about what this could look like, though, is very exciting. But now we must move on to number one. At number one, we have the lyrics. The initial concept for the wordos. For the lyrics, they were going to be different on each island, all of the designs, and although the design side has been explored with Wither, as Wither's design is based off of the lyrics, it's more so the concept that makes this the number one on our list today. If this is reworked, I feel like this concept could be absolutely great. The Magical Islands are actually founded upon the idea of putting as many new monsters on a single new island as possible. With this in mind, I feel like the lyrics would be a perfect fit for the Magical Islands. Having a unique lyric on every single one, or a pair of brand new ones on every Magical Island, would make the islands feel so unique and fresh, even more to an extent than what they already are, which would be absolutely amazing. And considering how we probably are going to be seeing a couple more classes coming along, some brand new ones to the Magical Islands in the future, why not throw the lyrics in there? It'd be an excellent callback and would be an excellent pairing with the Wordo class as well. The Magicals are each so unique on all of the islands that they're on, and having a class befit that in the sense that they each have individual designs for each Magical Island would be an excellent concept for bringing over the Wordo idea over to the Magical Islands themselves. And honestly, I couldn't see the Wordos coming across to them in any other way. Having a unique pairing on each one would be an excellent ride. Take me back to the lovely days when the Magicals were released. We need some more of that kind of spice in the schedule, so I would love the lyrics to come along. The voice actors have left now, the majority of them, and I'm sure that applies to the Wordos as well. So while all of them have left, I say let's take on a fresh new take on these islands and spice them up a bit with some brand new designs. Now's the chance. Regardless though, guys, make sure to let me know what your top 5 list is, as I'm really interested in you guys' thoughts on this, as there's lots of scrap monsters in My Singing Monsters that could indeed make their return, and with all these new monsters coming out that are taking on these old concepts, it's a time to get them lists out there. Please do make sure to leave a like down below, and make sure to subscribe too, guys. Can't forget that too. Hashtag bring on the lyrics. And Mimic. We can't forget Mimic, because Mimic's design is real cool. Well, it will be cool. I don't even need to see that design. We just know it's going to be cool already, don't we, guys? Anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.